Excursions are one of our favorite parts of cruising. Some of our best memories come from shore excursions, but we don't always book through the cruise line.
That's right. Over the years, we've learned when it makes sense to book through the cruise line, when it's okay to use a third-party provider, and when we'd rather go out on our own.
And there isn't one right answer.
That's right. It depends on a lot of things, like the port, the cost, the timing, and the experience.
Welcome back to Core 4 Adventures. If you're new, I'm Laura.
And I'm Carol.
And today we're going to discuss how we decide on shore excursions and who to book with and why.
Let's start off with our overall philosophy. First of all, we love shore excursions. It's one of the reasons why we cruise, but we don't feel the pressure to book something in every single port.
When we're preparing for our trip, we ask ourselves a few questions. How easy is that port going to be to navigate independently? Is it a docked or a tender port? And how long are we in that port?
We also ask ourselves how far the excursion is away from the cruise port. Is it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? And are there any discounts that the cruise line offers that we could take advantage of?
We absolutely book strategically and not just out of habit.
First off, let's talk about those excursions that we do find it's best to book through the cruise line.
We book with the cruise line anytime it's time sensitive. If it's a super short port, if the excursion's a long way from the port, if we're in high traffic areas, really anytime we want to make sure that we have that guarantee that the ship will wait for us, we go ahead and book through the cruise line because we enjoy having that guarantee. For example, when we were in Ketchikan, Alaska, we got tickets to the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show through the cruise line, and it ran long. The cruise line should have left us because we couldn't get back in time, but they waited for anyone who had purchased tickets through the cruise line, and we didn't have to scramble to get back. They brought a bus right there to the show and picked everybody up from there.
We also tend to book excursions through the cruise line when it is a tender port. A tender port is where they dock the ship off the land and they bring you to shore in little boats. And the reason we like to book through the cruise line is you get priority tender. You don't have to wait in line for a tender and you can get off the ship pretty early. We used this trick when we were in Cabo San Lucas and we were one of the first people off the ship that morning. We got in on the tender port. We went on our excursion, which was a lovely boat ride out to Land's End and El Arco. And we were able to walk around the town, do a little shopping, and take one of the earliest tenders back. We didn't have to wait in line to get off the ship, and we didn't have to wait in line to get back on it.
We also book with the cruise line when it's a one-of-a-kind opportunity that you can only get through the cruise line. For example, the White Pass Railroad in Skagway offers train rides through themselves as well as through the cruise line, but they only offer the VIP car on the cruise line's website. And yes, it's a little more expensive, but it was worth it. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get to be in the best car with free drinks and food and an unobstructed view out of the back of the train. And it was so amazing that we booked it again for the cruise that we're taking in June.
It also makes sense to book through the cruise line when you can get a great deal. We cruise with NCL, and the Free at Sea program gives you a $50 excursion credit for the first person in each cabin. And then if you have status like we do, there's an extra discount on top of that. So if you bundle that all together, sometimes you can get a better deal on the cruise excursion by booking through the cruise line. This happened to us when we were in Mazatlan. We were able to take the topless bus tour of Mazatlan, and because we got those $50 discounts and our extra status discount, it ended up being like $45 for all three of us to take that excursion. Now you do have to be careful and you have to comparison shop because sometimes the cruise line excursions are more expensive to begin with, so those discounts don't really make a big difference.
But we've had several other times that it's really made a difference. For example, when we went to Tortola in the Caribbean, we did their beach break and it was cheaper than if we had taken a taxi ourselves to the beach. Mm-hmm. And when we were in Palma de Mallorca, the same thing with a hop-on, hop-off bus tour. We ended up getting both couples on there for about $100, which was less than all four of us could have done through the hop-on, hop-off bus tour. And the nice thing was they picked us up right at the ship. There's always a few little perks to getting it through the cruise line.
You definitely have to shop around, but it can really make a difference.
But we aren't afraid to book differently either. We've had great success with third-party vendors, including City Pass, Get Your Guide, and especially Viator.
With the third-party providers, we found that they have professional guides, really clear meeting points, and sometimes you're in a smaller group than you are if you're booking through the cruise line.
You can often get skip-the-line tickets through them, which you can't necessarily get through the cruise lines, and they're a great value, especially in Europe.
You know, speaking of Europe, some of our favorite excursions have been booked through Viator. The one that I'm thinking of off the top of my head was when we did the VIP tour to Neuschwanstein. We hopped on a VIP bus in Munich, Germany. We took a lovely drive through Upper Ammergau, and then we got to Neuschwanstein, where we got to tour it and see Mary's Bridge. It was just a wonderful, wonderful day. Another great European excursion that we did was to Rome, where we booked the Colosseum tour, again through Get Your Guide. And that one, we got to go up Palatine Hill and go out on the floor at the Colosseum and see everything really up close. And that was a special experience. And I'll never forget the day that we went to Florence and Pisa. We got on a bus and it was so easy to do. And we got taken all the way into Florence, where our guide didn't have to walk us through the city, but he did anyway. So we got a guided tour through Florence. We got to go to the wine window. We got to eat some gelato. We got to do a little shopping in the leather market. And then we got back on the bus and we went all the way to Pisa to take some of those funny pictures that we were dying to do. All of those were really, really well done.
And we've even used Viator for some of our land vacations, including the one where we went to London for Carol's 50th birthday. We got to go on a Thames boat cruise, which was really cool. It took us up and down and explained all about central London. And in fact, you could have gone a little further than we did, but we decided to cut it there. And there was a little bit of flexibility with that, which I really liked. We also took a Christmas lights tour on a topless bus. Now, obviously that is seasonal, but there are lots of other excursions. The one that I think stuck out the most for me was when we toured the Tower of London. We didn't just get to tour the Tower of London, we got to have a meet and greet with a beefeater. If you don't know what a beefeater is, watch this video right here that shows you all about that excursion.
So, why do we sometimes like to use a third-party provider for our excursions? It comes down to a few things, like flexibility. Sometimes you can get excursions that you can't get anywhere else, something really unique and immersive, like that VIP meet and greet with the beefeater. And of course, it comes down to cost. You can get some great deals, but we do recommend that you check out all of the reviews for the excursion that you're booking so that you go into it with eyes wide open. And if you would like to check out any of the tours that we've talked about today, we're going to drop the link in the description box below.
And if you enjoy talking about cruise strategy like this and tips and tricks from our own travels, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on. And if you're getting anything out of this video, please hit that like button. It really does help our channel.
And it doesn't have to be either or. Sometimes you can mix and match. In fact, we did this when we went to Pompeii. We booked a bus tour through NCL where it took us from the port to Pompeii itself. Why did we do this? Well, with that $50 credit for the first person in every cabin, plus our status discount, it was really affordable. And all it did was get us from the ship through the dockyard and to Pompeii. Once we got there, we booked our tickets to Pompeii and the guided tour through Get Your Guide. So we mixed and matched. We did best of both worlds. It was cheaper to book through Get Your Guide for the Pompeii tickets and cheaper to go through NCL for the bus ride. And it was a great day. We really enjoyed that one.
And of course, sometimes we just do the ports on our own. We do this when it makes sense. When it's an easy port, easy transportation to and from where we're wanting to go. It's a simple beach day. Or if it's an overnight, there's no reason not to do it on your own for the first day because you know you're not going to get left by the ship. Anytime we're looking for some flexibility, we go on our own.
In fact, that's exactly why we went on our own when we went and visited Cinque Terre. We were in an overnight port in Livorno, so that meant that we docked early in the morning and the ship wasn't going to leave until late in the evening the next day. So the first day, we felt really comfortable going out on our own. own because there was no way we were going to miss the ship. We got off the ship, we got to the train, we took the train to Cinque Terre, we had a lovely boat ride through the 5 cities. It was just an amazing, amazing day. And we did that all on our own, and we made it back to the ship with plenty of time that evening.
And sometimes you don't have a choice. When we were in Cannes, we really wanted to do the Little White Train tour, but you can't book that from the cruise line or in advance. You just have to go to the site that they have it at and hope that they're running that day and get a ticket there.
And of course, if it is a simple beach day, sometimes it's just so much easier to do it on your own. We did this when we were in the U.S. Virgin Islands when we wanted to go to Magens Bay. We got off the ship and there were taxis right there. We jumped on a taxi. It took us straight to the beach. We had several hours where we could snorkel the day away, and then we got on the taxi and got back to the ship. We did this same thing in Ibiza with Talamanca Beach, and we also did this when we went to Bermuda. It's just really easy, especially if it's a simple beach day.
And sometimes you don't even have to leave the port at all. When we were in the Dominican Republic, that Taino Bay port is an excursion all in of itself, and it's completely covered by the cruise line, so you don't have to pay anything to go experience that. We hung out in the pool, had lunch in one of the little restaurants, looked around at the port. It was a lovely day, and it didn't cost us anything.
So one thing that we've really found that we love for a pre or post cruise is City Pass. This is a great option if you're going to be in a location for a couple days. We've used it in Seattle before, we've used it in New York City, and it can get you discounts on all of the things that you want to see anyway.
And the City Pass is far more cost efficient than booking each of those experiences individually. You're going to save yourself some money, and it's going to give you some structure for your vacation. When we're planning to go to a new city, sometimes it can be overwhelming. It helps us narrow down the list to some of the best attractions for the city and helps us to structure our vacation so that we know exactly what our itinerary is going to be. Now, we are affiliates for the City Pass, so we will link that in the description box below. And keep in mind, this is meant for the beginning of your vacation or the end of your vacation. This isn't something that you would do for a short port stop. It is meant to be multiple days.
And if you would like to see us giving an honest review of the City Pass and see it in action, click on this video next. Now, we have had the opportunity to take a European river cruise with AMA Waterways, and that is a completely different experience because the excursions are built into your cruise fare. When you are taking a European river cruise, you will typically have an excursion at every single port stop, and they'll take you straight to the city center and pick you up right at the ship, oftentimes in a brand new coach, very 5-star all the way. And one of the things that I like most about the cruise excursions with AMA Waterways is they get you the very best guides, and the guides will be using an audio Vox system. This is where the guide has a microphone, and then you'll wear a receiver around your neck with an earpiece. And they'll be talking quietly into their microphone, not to disturb other tour groups, but you can hear them loud and clear in your earpiece, no matter how close or far away you are. So this allows you to spread out and really get to know the places that you're in. Some of our favorite excursion memories were through AMA Waterways.
There were some fantastic ones on that cruise. Now, this is atypical, but when we were in Vienna, we actually got to meet the president of Austria. We were walking through the city gardens with our tour guide, and she mentioned that he often came out to walk his little dog Louie about the time we were there. And sure enough, he walked right out the door. She ran over and she got us an introduction with him, and we got our picture taken with the president. That was just a highlight for us. Speaking of highlights, we love our wine, and we went through the Wachau Valley on that cruise. The Wachau Valley is known for its white wines, specifically its Gruner Veltliners, and we had an amazing wine tasting. We also went to Dürnstein, which is known for its apricots, and we had a fabulous apricot tasting there. They were very knowledgeable. Every one of our guides, they taught us so many things, and it was so much fun.
And I have just found that the excursions through AMA Waterways are just really well organized because that's how they build their entire cruises. It is built around the excursions.
So that's it. How do we actually decide who to book our excursions with. We think to ourselves, is this a unique experience? Is time a risk factor? And can we easily do this ourselves?
We also ask ourselves, is there a significant discount if we book it through the cruise line? Is this something that is going to really enhance our experience? Or is this a day where we want more flexibility or more structure?
We don't avoid excursions, we just book them very intentionally.
That's right. Excursions are one of our favorite parts of cruising, so we just learned how to book them strategically.
So how do you book your excursions? Do you do them through the cruise line, Viator, do them yourselves, a mix of everything? We'd love to hear it in the comment section below.
And if you'd like to see some of our excursions in action, watch this. It is our Mediterranean cruise series. It's linked below for you. Thank you so much for spending time with us today, and we will catch you next time on Core 4 Adventures. Bye!